Greetings and welcome to another instalment of how to put a watch together. This one should be really good actually, because I've got some interesting parts and I'm really looking forward to it. I've got some outrageous watch hands, which I'm not sure that you can really see that clearly in there, but if I lean over them, take that bit of shine away from the top of the box, you can see that. So quite big, robust hands on that one. I've got this Samurai case, which has got like a blue hue in the black PVD coating, and it's really nice. I don't know if it quite catches in the chapter ring there. It makes it look as if it's got sort of a blue PVD coating on the sapphire, which it hasn't. You can probably see it again in the bezel, which it will put on at some point. That's the back of the watch, so the movement's visible. That's the gasket for that. We've got a 36 movement there, and we've got quite a nice face with a day date, and again quite a nice sunburst blue face with a slightly off blue white markers on the dial. You probably can't see that well enough here, but I can tell you that they're not brilliant white. They've got a blue tinge in them, but they do loom up green. So when the hands also loom up green, it won't look odd. We won't have like a bit of blue loom and a bit of green loom in the face. So and then actually we've got a quite nice silicone strap there, which has got, you know, a curved, really thick curved holder in it, pin. So that should look pretty cool, and with the black buckle as well, so everything will be mildly stealth on this watch, I guess. But the face, with the exception of the face, which has got those white markers. So usual routine, snip the things off the dial, bits off the lugs off the back, fit the dial into the movement, put the bezel in, case back on, etc., and hands on, and you know, lock it all up, and Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt. Good luck. So job number one is to remove the lugs, two sets of lugs obviously, that come on all of these dials, so that you can position the crown at either 3 o'clock or the 4 o'clock position. In order to do the 3 o'clock position that we have on this particular Samurai, or any Samurai for that matter, we go with, we keep the lug that's at 2 o'clock and they keep the lug that's at 8 o'clock, and we get rid of the ones that are nearer 3 and 9. So if I turn it over, it's going to be this one and that one that go. I then just file down using a very small file whatever's left of the burrs that have been cut off. I can see them quite well there. I'll just zoom in a bit and see if you can actually see. Yeah, you can. So there and there, you can just see that they're still very slightly raised. So we get the we get the file, and I'm trying to use one of the sides that has the up what am I talking about? There's no actual... Inevitably one scratches the back. It's part of the game, unfortunately, when you're doing this, but it is what it is. There we are, and that's that. They're flat now, and won't really impede on anything. So I can basically just pop this in now. Usually it takes a little bit of wiggling. There we are, that's one located. That's the other. Yeah, that's gone on very nicely. What we'll do then is we'll have a play around with the date thing. There we are. Today's actually a Friday. Looks a bit wonky donkey there, doesn't it? Just give it a little bit there. Yeah. See what happens with the day itself. Looks pretty good. Yeah. Not sure I'm loving that. I had this on the, funnily enough, on the Milgauss, and it sort of corrected itself. So that's the dial popped in. They just locate the lugs that remain go into a couple of holes on the plastic ring that goes around the movement. So we've got the dial on. It needed pressing down quite firmly, which is why you've not got the video of that happening. I just had to take it off and give it a good press down. But it's very nicely located into the movement now, and is not going to fall out. That is for sure. So the next little job is just to take the time around 12 o'clock in preparation for putting the hands on. So I'm just turning this as if I was actually setting the hour and minutes, and you'll see that the 12's just flicked over there. So that means we're at 12 o'clock and can put the hands on there. So that's probably what we'll do right now. I'll open the hands box. Here is the box of hands. Oh, that is the wrong box of hands. I apologise. This is the box of hands that we want. I'll put the bezel there. Bear with me while the dogs bark. So to the hands then. That's the set of hands that we're going to pop on. The great news is I've bought one of these magnifying glasses. Hey, it's even got a light on it. So we can have a go with that today, and you might actually see a second hand go on. Don't know whether I'm going to do it so that you can see it through the magnifying glass, or whether I use a magnifying glass and you see it through the camera from another angle. Not really sure on that. I've only really used the magnifying glass once so far since I bought it. It was 20 quid off eBay, not the most expensive tool in the world. But it's been very handy on the first time I used it in order to get a splinter out of the finger of my other half. So it's not been used on the watches yet, so we'll have a go with that today. Anyway, on to the hands. and I'll bang the usual face protector on first, so that I don't scratch the face while I'm putting it on, and then we'll go for the hour hand, which is huge. It is humongous, this thing. It's definitely the right way up. There we go, that's on. Ooh, that's both of those off. Cock up of that. Gear on. All right. I think we'll just press it on a little bit, and then we'll mess about with trying to locate it into the right spot. So if you bear with me 1 second while I get the hour hand presser onto my hand presser. This one looks a bit like an hour hand one. Doesn't really feel as if it's gone on at all there. No, it's not stiff. That might have located it a bit better. Yeah, that feels as if it's a little bit on. So we'll expose the centre, see if we can actually move it round. Not quite centred, is it? I'm going to take that off in order to do this. I'll just move it around a little bit more, centre it correctly. Look at it from there. Let's go back just a nanometer. That's it. That's perfect. So we'll press that on a little more. Not too far, just enough to get it down. We'll press the back in a little more than the front, so it raises it off the so there's some clearance between the hand and the there's not loads of clearance between the dial and the protector, I have to say. We've got there. I'll put the second hand on. That feels a little bit difficult, doesn't it? But again, we'll just give it a little. Yeah, well, I'd say that was enough of a. No, that's okay. It felt like it had clicked, but yeah, maybe. Maybe a bit of resistance in that, not much. So I'll just put that on top to make sure it doesn't slide off while I bring it round into alignment. But hey, there she blows. And we'll Press that on as well. There it goes. Got a firm click there. So we'll take that out, and we'll see how good we've got that. Oh, I tell you what, I'm quite happy with that. That looks blooming good. That does. Yeah. Happy days. We'll watch it trip over another day. Oh, I tell you what, that's pretty good. Pleased with that. Now we've got the joy of putting this second hand on. It's quite a big. There's quite a big circle on it. That's not to say it's going to be any easier to get on, because the diameter of the pin and the diameter of the hole are still going to be incredibly small, about 0.2 of a centimetre. So I'm just going to, I can see through the magnifying glass there, where the thing is, and I don't think you can see the magnifying glass, so that's actually quite good. I wonder if I can do better than normal here then, in terms of getting this actually aligned and on. So I'm just using the Rodica again. I've forgotten to put the face protector on, so I'm just going to do that as well, because it is such a pest of a job, this, that, you know, you can be scratching the face if you're dropping the second hand onto the face constantly as you're trying to align this. I can sort of see that through this thing. It's not really making it that much easier to align. So I'll take this, which is going to want a thinner. You need to have the hole in the pusher of the correct diameter, because if you don't, it will bend the circle on the top of the hand. You know, so that you can see the wide black circle on that. If I pressed the edges of that and it wasn't located correctly, it would I'm going to swap hands here if I can without making a mess of everything. Get that out of the way now. Oh shit, drop the hand. Doing that intricate operation of getting rid of the box. Oh yeah, and just see that. I reckon that's on. I can see it and it's on. Oh, you fucking bastard. God, I thought that was absolutely cock. I was honest, that. Not going to have grip with the Rodico. I don't really like doing this too much, because it, you know, the more you do this, the more chance you've got of bending that second hand, and, you know, all of those other various complications. And your own muscles get stressed. Just going to push that on. The Rodico was actually getting in the way of me getting the hand locator onto it. Oh, nearly. just doesn't feel as if it's... So what we'll do is we're going to push that in. Oh, we're on. It's on. It's working. You have seen a second hand actually go on at last. And we have an operational timepiece. So all I'm going to do now is give it a wag and make sure that the hands don't fall off, which they're not doing. Oh, hey, there she blows. Gosh, doesn't it look good as well? I'm really chuffed with that. That looks lovely. It's going to look lovely in the face, isn't it? So the next little job is just to put the bezel on. So let's do it. Let's get that bezel on. Take a couple of these tools away. Just make sure you can see that, which you can. I need this pair of tweezers to slip under the cover of the sticky back plastic that actually holds these things on. I'll just make sure that we're tight against a thing, and then we'll line that up to 12 o'clock as best we can. I'm just using one of the marks in the chapter ring to do that, and then we'll push it on. And we'll remove our little label that's telling us it's a sapphire crystal, and it's domed, which is lovely, which allows us to have the sloping bezel as well, which is a feature of these. It's gorgeous, this. So that's that. That stuck to my finger, obviously. What I'll do then is I'll clean the face, and then I'm just going to turn the back over, and I'm going to clean the back of the sapphire crystal. Make sure there's absolutely no dirt in it whatsoever. In fact, there isn't. I can see quite clearly that that's absolutely superbly clean in there. But, you know, it doesn't cost anything just to give it a bit of a wipe. And then a bit of a dab with the old Rodico that we're using to put the hands on with. What that really does is it's going to collect up any dust. So go around those edges. That's good. That's good. So we're kind of ready, with the one exception of I've got to take the crown out. The crown taking out at this stage is about popping that lever down and pulling on the crown. So I'm pressing down now, and I'm going to move that up to my mouth because I'm just missing a third hand. So I've taken it out with my teeth, and I'm going to pop that over there. So let's have a little look before we push it right in. It's looking quite good, isn't it? It's looking quite good. Let me just cast a shadow over that so that you can see it better. It's lovely, isn't it? I'm going to just slide my tweezers under there now, and that's normally the best way of doing that, but clearly wasn't at that particular juncture. We'll just try and locate that down into the case, just by pressing on the plastic. Can't imagine that the crown is impeding that. Won't be that deep. Does feel as if something's impeding it, doesn't it? Yeah, more haste, less speed. Just make sure it's there or thereabouts. We can spin it hopefully once it's in. I'll spin it by locating the tweezers in one of the sort of holes in the side of the plastic surround. Just got to work out which way we're going to turn it. Yeah, so we're going to be pushing it that way, just to line up where you can see, you can see where the crown goes through. Just there. It needs a fair push. Shouldn't be. Shouldn't be too onerous. Well, that's managed to break my tweezers, which is not ideal. Thankfully, that's the end of them, so they're not in the movement. Otherwise, I'd have to be taking that out again. So I'll just get the old, throw those away. Get the old metal tweezers and move it around a little bit more. Gosh, it really is quite tight in there. Just looking at that to see if it's... Just wants to go up that way a bit. Yeah. Get that out of the way. Feels about right. Let's see if we can get the crown in. Got a crown there. Which is this. See if that'll go in. Yeah. It does. It doesn't go in very far because Now I've got the case on it, so I think we'll have so we've got the actual stem for the movement there. Have the crown here, so we'll put it's got to be done anyway, so we put the stem in temporarily. Make sure it threads up okay. See if that will actually go in and locate. Yep, that's winding that up nicely. See where it is. So we just look and we probably know that the case just wants to be moved that way a very, very tiny amount. Albeit it looks absolutely dead on. I'm not sure turning it anymore is going to help. Oh no, yeah, let's go that way if it goes anyway. Let's just do that. So we'll just see if we. That's it. Yeah, there you go. You can see that the things. I mean, I've almost moved it a little bit too far. Just that's cock on. That's straight through the middle, so that'll tighten up nicely. And there she is, resplendent. So I'll turn it back over. Oh, I think I'll just look at it for a moment. Put my get something over it so you can see it better. There's a fair bit of interference from the light sources in this room, isn't there? Again today, so we've not got the best view in the world of this. Yeah. There we go. See if I can bring a newspaper up or something and bring that over without interfering in everything. Well, that's as good as you're going to get. I'll bring it right up, see if it will focus. Beautiful. There's something going wrong with the day. That's obvious because it's just kicking over. Not really that happy with the way that the days are lining into the thing there. I did have much to say this because so the number is perfect, but I'm not enormously convinced by the day yet. I had the same problem with a couple of these and they do settle down. So hopefully this one will do the same. It looks all right there, doesn't it? But you can see the blue shimmer in the case, particularly on the crown, look. And particularly on the chapter ring. Oh, God, that looks good. That looks absolutely gorgeous, that one. Very pleased with it indeed. So we've just got to cut the crown down, measure the crown, cut it down, and then file the end so it's domed and nice, and then put that on you know, with some sticky. Bang it in, bang the strap on, and we're done. So let's get on with that. First things first, we need to measure the crown. I'll just get that magnifying glass out of the way. And my thingy there. I bet you it will be about 6mm. So I'm going to set the verniers to 6mm. I'm going to put that against the case, and I'm going to press the thing in. I can get it in quite a bit further, so it's a bit less than that. What's that then? Oh, 5.5mm, it says. I think I ought to do that upside down. So there's a bit of a lip on that. Still the same, isn't it? So it's 5.5mm. So we'll whip the thing off, whip the crown out. This lever gets poked down. That's that. I just want to check that the crown was actually all the way wound in. Yeah. So we'll undo that. We'll use a bit of blue tape to mark 5.5mm. Sorry, I was singing as I was trying to concentrate, and you want to hear that like you want a hole in your head. So I'll pack that in. I don't know where singing when concentrating. I've just marked that up on one of the lines in this mat, and then I'm going to do that, and then I'm just going to check that that's the right distance, which it is, and then I'm going to use my pliers to whip that off, whip it off, as they say in posh circles. So yeah, I'm about aligned there. I'm going to take it away from the watch face so that you've heard it go, but I've made sure that it's not going to end up in the movement, so I've done it away from that. Going to get that same little file that we used earlier. Again, we don't want to file into the back of the watch. And all I'm doing really is just taking the burrs off the end of this stem, doming it. You pretty well know it's done when it stops catching. You go around it, and once it stops catching on something, then it's filed down adequately. This is like a glue for stems. It's obviously a bit cold. Just want a little dab of it to come out the end. There it is. Then we'll pop that on there. Hopefully you can see that. I can't see the camera. I'm just gonna drop that. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm just going to start it so it's working on nicely, which it is, and then hold it with the pliers and make sure it's really fully wound on. I have to say that feels more fully wound on than it was when we cut it, which I'd anticipated. I don't know if you saw, but I'd anticipated that, and I'd given it an extra little mill, which I could then file off if that proved to be incorrect. Just take that excess off again. That's absolutely fine. And push her in. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That feels good. Just make sure that can do up all the way against the side. Yes. No, it's just not flush, that, unfortunately. So I'm gonna take it down and file it down a little more. Get all these tools out of the way. Put a bit of stuff on it again so we can A, kind of hold it, and B, protect it against the pliers. Whip that off. And I'm going to take this away and file it down another mill. Okay, so after a few shortenings, we've finally got the crown down to, well, it was literally last mill, so I've just put that on. The only difficulty with that, I mean, you take it down bit by bit. We'd only got a mill to go, and I probably did a third of a mill each time. Tested it for length, and it's come up short each time. I know that it's going to be fine now because it was so little last time. This one, it was almost fine as it was. We took a bit more off. The thing is you don't want the stem to go too short, because then you're changing. Well, I mean, it messes the whole job up. You end up changing the date before it's unscrewed, and so this is kind of the last insertion, I think. So we'll do that up. That's perfect. That fits beautifully into the case. Got a fair few fingerprints on it now, but that looks pretty good. I've been manhandling it. That's excellent. We'll turn it over. I've got to. There's my gasket grease. Excuse the hand. I'm just going to take the gasket out of the box, put the gasket into the gasket grease. Close the lid and give it a bit of a twist. That's the gasket nicely greased. Drop it into its retaining slot in the case. I'll just stop that while you heard my trusty assistant, Eggnog, barking at whoever had deigned to invade the space outside. Get in. I see. I think that's largely because there's not actually a slot. Just wondering if the gasket on this particular watch type gets introduced to the back rather than introduced to the case itself. It's a possibility. I'll try that. Yeah, don't know whether that is. Oh no, it is actually. It's got a very, very thin lip there, so the gasket does go in here. I just couldn't quite see that from where I was. I'm going to hold it there. Make sure it's the right size. Yeah, that works. I don't really want to force this. Just wants to go in. Just wants to go in nicely so that we don't cross thread it. Doesn't feel as if it wants to go in at all, that. Don't know why. Ah, there we go. That is going in beautifully. So I'll get my tool and tighten that up. Just undo it first. So we've got this nice blue face. That's nice and tightly in there. And then that's nice and tightly in that one. And then we can just move that around. Well, that seems a little tight again. Not liking that. I don't want to cross thread it. And it doesn't feel as if it is cross threaded. It just feels as if it isn't going in. Because I can see the gasket, so it's not. Yeah, it's not in far enough. That I'm going to take that back out and just do a bit of investigating. I think there, make sure that the face is up against the chapter ring and all of that. Yeah, it looks it, doesn't it? It doesn't look as if there's not enough room. I tell a lie. That is not against the chapter ring. So the answer is that the case needs pushing down a bit further. a little bit of pressure onto that in order to do it, I think. So I stood up. Oh, it's not really wanting to play ball. That's that one. I'll tell you what, when it is in, it's not going to come back out again, that is for sure. Okay, we'll have another go at this gasket. I've pushed the face in correctly. Took a bit of effort, that did, I can tell you. But it's all in, and did make a heck of a difference to being able to locate this case back, which actually, as you see, just tightens up a treat now. There it is. So that's tight. No problem. I've taken the crown out, obviously, while I messed about. So I'll put that back in. That's in. Got a nice click on that. So there we go. We're nearly done. So last thing is bob the strap on, and then we've got a watch, haven't we? So here comes the strap. I have a strap putter on a tool, which is this. I'll turn it over. I want to put the strap in from the back, and this isn't the easiest strap in the world to go on because it's thick, and with it being geared up to it's really about getting the right leverage into that, and at the same time as you being able to see it. That's it. So give that a good tug, make sure it's located. Yeah. I've even put it in the correct side, because sometimes I've been known to do that incorrectly. The buckle end always wants to go at 12 o'clock. So just doing this without scratching. There we go. Oh, all done. That's good. You can see the ends in the little slots. Yeah, that looks the bits, doesn't it? So I'm going to take off my current timepiece. I'm going to put this down in as much as you can see it. I'll bring the I guess it'd be quite nice to have that as a blue strap. I don't know, maybe not. We'll have a look at that in the future. It looks quite nice as a stealth. But I'll pop the watch on and show it you on my arm. Oh, it should look good. Oh, I'm very pleased with that. You can really see the blue against the black of the strap, actually, can't you? Maybe that helps. Not sure about that. Yeah, there's a heck of a gap here at the top of the watch where the strap's being held on, the pin is actually bowed. So I'll take it off and I'll take it out and I'll show you. I suspect that what's happening there is that I've stuffed the bow in to the strap the wrong way round. I'll show you what I mean in a second. So I'll fetch that out, and as you can see, there's a bit of a kink in the pin. It's meant to be like that. That's how they both come. I put it in that way round. It might well be the counterintuitive means of slotting it in, maybe. So we'll do the counterintuitive bit and then put it back on and then see what happens. And if so we got another delivery and the dogs went wappy again, so that was that. We've now, I was going to say we've now relocated that. We hadn't relocated it at all. If indeed that one has located, it has. I don't know if that feels tighter against there or not really, as a result. There is obviously a trick to this. I don't seem to have found what that trick is yet. So we'll have a think about that strap. Whether the strap maker intends the bezel really to hold that a little bit. I don't know. I've got plenty of other potential straps for this watch, so let's try a few more on and see where we get to.